All right, I can go ahead and get started. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Monitor APM weekly meeting. First agenda item I had was just in case y'all haven't heard, there is Friends and Family Day coming up. It was announced in the company FYI Slack channel. Basically, we're having our first GitLab holiday where if you don't have a holiday at your country for May 1st, you are strongly encouraged, recommended to take that day off. Everyone at GitLab is going to be recommended to take off unless there's essential work that needs to be done, like support team and so forth. And if you already have that day as a public holiday, you're encouraged to take another day off, preferably around that time because we want to share kind of what we're doing outside of work. I think there's a Slack channel as well. So I will definitely be taking off and I will try to share what I'm doing. I haven't decided yet, but I encourage you all to do the same. The idea is, to give us a chance to remember and focus on our family and friends during this time where it's really easy to just focus on work or work too much. So there's that. And then there's virtual contribute tomorrow. I'm not sure if all of y'all have heard as well. So this is the first time they've done this. I've been here for a while and so has Jose. And, this will be very fascinating. We're trying a new platform. So please do check it out. I encourage you to do it. You don't have to attend everything. At least attend the keynote, attend a few sessions. I think it'll be a great way to connect. The networking event thing that they have seems really cool. So at least check out one thing is my recommendation. And then the other thing is I want to remind everyone to comment on the retrospective for 12.10. There hasn't been much activity. It's kind of just me talking to myself. So please join in the conversation because I'm sure there's things that we want to celebrate, some wins in our team, as well as things that maybe we can improve and, learn from our mistakes. So that's that. I think there's no questions. It's on to you, Diraj.
Okay, so this is more of a question / if anybody has any comments. So the annotations feature that we shipped in the previous milestone is behind a feature flag. So while I was talking to Clement, this topic came up and we were thinking if there's any use in putting it behind a feature flag. So the idea is to lift the feature flag in this release and kind of add all the necessary documentation and all the screenshots if necessary. So I wanted to see if anybody has any comments or concerns about that. That's all.
Yeah, my comment is I'll just verbalize it. We need to make sure this is properly documented, ideally with some examples and screenshot, because this is that's a big feature. It's a big deal, and I would like to make sure it is accessible by anyone that is reading our documentation. So if you can take an extra, I don't know, couple of hours to make sure this is properly documented, it would be great.
Yeah, especially given that annotations can only be created through the backend or through webhooks. I think I agree we need to add some more documentation. And as Mikołaj pointed out, there is some documentation talking about the API endpoints and other things, but I think we need to add a few more details.
Yeah, we can take the examples that you're using in the sandbox and take some screenshot and explain maybe how to do it. And that's it. That's good enough.
Side note, since Seed Challenge is about improving documentation, we can kill two birds with one stone this time. So just want to point it out that we may take it on our focus on that tomorrow.
That's it. Over to Dov.
Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and share. I created the telemetry dashboard based on the information that is coming from Snowplow and usage ping. So just to recap, Usage ping is the information that we are collecting from our on-prem customers. So customers that actively enable usage ping, they are sending telemetry information back to us. So it's approximately 20 to 30% of our users. So usage ping, the numbers that you see in usage ping probably would be larger because traditionally we have a large install base that is using our on-prem much more than the one that are using .com, but it is inaccurate because, as I mentioned, 20 to 30% of the information is getting received. So the rest of the information is simply blocked. On a Snowplow, and this is where we are tracking our .com, we're actually collecting all the information. And we can get a higher resolution. For instance, we can, in usage ping, we cannot distinguish a session. So if like one user click on a button that we are tracking the information 1,000 times, we'll count it 1,000 times. But in Snowplow, in .com, we can distinguish by session ID. So there is some mix and match that I've tried to collect based on both points of both source of information. With your help that you've done the instrumentation, and I was able to collect, I think, all the information that we can get, and we can get to a higher resolution as we'll continue to create the implementation issue to collect some of this information. So I just want to, obviously this dashboard is accessible, everyone can use it. If you have any issues around it, let me know. But just to go over it, because it's quite interesting. So the first point of information is users that are fetching information, basically looking at dashboards. It doesn't matter if it's default dashboard or custom dashboard. As long as someone is looking at the dashboard and the dashboard does return something, so it's not looking on an empty dashboard, this is the metric here. And it is broken down into users that are using the custom dashboard and the default dashboard. I know it does not add up because it depends on the way we aggregate the information, but it's like, it's almost, okay? It's not accurate, but you can see the breakdown, how many users are using our default dashboard and users that are using custom dashboard. I have to say that I'm looking at trends. I think this is, I don't look at the numbers, especially not on usage ping, but I like the fact that we can see that more users are starting to use our custom dashboard. I think it tied into the fact that we are adding more and more enhancement to our dashboard, and you can see that the trend is going up, and it's great. Amount of users, this is not a lot, amount of users that are using, that are adding metric using our model. So if they are clicking on the add metric button, by the way, the data is aggregated by month, okay? So this is like in the month of April. Not a lot of users are doing that. I think mainly for two reasons. One, the add metric button is in Ultimate, and we move it to core. It's custom metrics, basically. And we move it to core only in this release. So I expect this to go up. And also the fact that you can add new metric using a YAML file. So you don't need to go to the model. You can do it directly from the YAML. Numbers of using that are creating alerts. I know alerts is more, the health team is more working on that, but still it's important to know. We don't have a lot of traffic there. Probably we need to do some more work on that, and we are aware that our alerting is lacking. I would expect that most of the users that are using alert with GitLab are using the alert manager in Prometheus, but I don't think it's possible to track it now.
One question.
Yeah.
We track adding new metric using the modal.com. Should we track adding new metrics on the repo way as well?
The usage ping. Yeah, we
No,
can.
on .com, since that seems like the alternative approach.
Oh, you mean like adding the model to the YAML file?
Yeah,
I
adding
mean,
new
we
metrics in
can.
the YAML file, because that's the
Yeah.
two ways, right? As adding to the modal or
Yes.
the YAML file. So
Yes.
I'm wondering if it would be beneficial to track how much is being added to the YAML file, so we can better understand that.
Yeah, I think we should. And again, it's matter of priorities, because each
Okay.
implementation issue is another. I'm not trying to overload the team with instrumentation. I mean, there are so many actions that we can do. We can think about it if we think that this is a critical metric. I think that custom dashboard is something that can like hint on the amount of users that are starting to add new metrics. So I think if we are tracking this for now and that, I think we should see some sort of a correlation starting next version at least. And if we think that things are not moving, maybe we can think about collecting this information through the YAML file. Yeah, but I agree. There are a lot of points of data that we can collect. Continue with that number of users that install Prometheus. Basically, click on Prometheus, the install button. Obviously, the number, I think it's quite impressive because this is an action that is being done only one time. So it's not something recurring like watching the dashboard. It's one-time thing. Same with number of users that install Elasticsearch for our logging. We're also tracking the number of users that are doing uninstall. And I was able to find information about how many users are actually clicking on download the CSV from the dashboard. This is all coming from .com. In usage ping, we don't track a lot, and I have to say that the information there is not so accurate. The telemetry team is doing some work on that, so I expect this to be enhanced. But for now, what I was able to find is the number of users that are clicking on pod logs, and you can see this increase of number over the last month. And I think this is mainly because of two factors. One, we move logs from was it Ultimate or Premium to Core. So more users are starting to use that. And Elasticsearch, you can see that there is a correlation here, number of users that are installing Elasticsearch. You can see the number is going up. By the way, the data from usage being aggregate on a weekly basis. This is on daily. And I'm tracking those metrics, and I do see an increase of metrics from week over week. We can probably change the aggregation for a week here, and we'll be able to see it. The last one is still work in progress, just a point of information that I was able to track project that has active Prometheus, but the numbers here, I think, are a bit wrong. Those spikes, like 30 millions, 70 million, and 6 million, I don't think they're accurate. We're probably around this number, like the 20K or 30K, but the folks from telemetry team are working on making sure this data will be accurate, because it really doesn't help me a lot with looking at the metrics because of those spikes. So this is still a work in progress. And this is it for now. And as we continue with the release, I'll create more implementation issue for instrumenting and collecting this telemetry information, which I think is important and interesting. If you have any question, or you think that we need to track additional data that you think is critical, let me know, and we can work on that.
It seems like some of the conversation we've had for future is like whether we want to store the dashboards in the database. And I'm wondering if we can be more strategic with our instrumentation to make sure that that's the right approach from a user perspective.
Can you?
So if 90%, if we realize 90% of our users are creating the dashboards through the YAML file, then maybe storing the database might be, I mean, maybe we have to figure out a technical solution to mirror it or something rather than just remove that support. But I'm not sure if that was the intent of the idea of moving to database, but something to think about.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we should move away from the YAML file. If we are storing it on the database, we should somehow mirror it and making sure they are aligned. And this is one of the technical problems that we can face, but I don't think that moving away from YAML completely is the right approach.
Gotcha.
So our default dashboard is on the database, the custom on YAML, so it's like, this creates some sort of inconsistency around different things like alerting and more. I still think that we should keep both.
I think Daraj had some points.
Yeah, so it was more of suggestions. I thought it would be nice to see how many metrics or charts are added to custom dashboards, because it looks like there's an upward trend in the usage of custom dashboards. So it'd be nice to know how many metrics users in general have in those custom dashboards. And another thing I could think of was it'd be nice to also track if projects generally have manual Prometheus configurations or automatic configurations. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, the manual and external is something that we are tracking. I'm not sure if it's possible. So there is, on the dashboard, there is, sorry, no, I thought we are tracking it. We're just tracking the number of Prometheus installation. I think we have that metric. I need to try to find it in usage ping or Snowplow, sorry. I think we're tracking that. I remember that we had an implementation issue for that. I need to look at that. Regarding the number of charts per user, I need to better understand if we can, if it's a metric that we can actually capture. I think that we can capture like the number of charts, but I don't think right now it is possible to capture the number of chart per dashboard. So
it may be possible we parse each YAML file and before returning the schema to the user to grab the metrics data from Prometheus. So it may be possible that we plug at this stage while parsing to get how many panels, therefore how many charts are in each single YAML file.
Yeah, the question is, can we collect this in Snowplow? Because it needs to be per YAML file. Yeah, okay, so per YAML file we can do it, not per user, but per YAML file. Yeah, we need to, I think we should start with like just number of charts and then like work our way as an MVC. Let's first count the number of charts, see if it makes sense, and then see if we can get like a high resolution of number of chart per YAML file, basically. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I also had a random thought of whether we think it's possible to send Snowplow data into Prometheus. Just think it'd be a really cool use case for us to dog food in a way that's not necessarily meant for what we're trying to do, but an interesting way to push the limits of what we can do as our charts. Not necessarily something we need to do right now, but it's just something to think about.
Yeah. And then create a dashboard by yourself on.
We could try using OpenTelemetry. We could check out if they have anything that connects to Snowplow.
Oh, like as a middleware?
Yeah, that way we don't have to rewrite all of our Snowplow code. We can just have the OpenTelemetry stuff and have it send the data to both Snowplow and Prometheus.
Snowplow works with OpenTelemetry?
I have no idea, but we can check.
Oh, okay. All right. Just food for thought.
Yeah.
No action needed.
Maybe there is an exporter for Snowplow. We can. Oh, but we need the data. We don't need the metric information. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it ties a lot to what Sid was trying to do in his free time with the product analytics.
Yeah. Yeah. This is exactly
so-
what he's trying to do.
If we can do a brief POC, then, it's pretty powerful.
I just like to say that the OpenTelemetry registry doesn't have anything for Snowplow.
Yeah, bummer. All right. Well, just food for thought. Just want to plant that idea in everyone's minds if you get bored or something. Cool. Well, I don't have anything else. Anyone else have anything they want to talk about?
I have a quick question. So do we, for these snowplow events, do we by any chance filter out certain projects? Because those five those five CSV downloads, I feel like I just did 3 of them when I was just testing on Monitor Sandbox. So do we filter the internal testings or projects within GitLab org out of those events? I wonder if
If
we
you
should
give
do
me,
that.
if you give me the product, the environment URL, I can filter them from the query.
Oh, okay.
Just the name, even just the name. We're talking like the full URL.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's like sandbox, then like monitor sandbox, then I can filter this out because we are tracking the actual URL of the environment. So again, don't upload it to YouTube now because it is forbidden. So don't do that. But it's possible. Just send me the name of the environment or the project, and I can filter it out. Maybe this is just our stuff.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure it is because I did it to verify something and Cindy did it from SRE team. So that's already 2 people out of 5.
In the last
Jose
month.
might have done it too. So anyways, cool. Well, thank you everybody for your time. Catch you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.